Good afternoon, everyone. Good day. This afternoon, I'm really proud to announce Susan Jackson as a candidate for the One Bermuda Alliance in constituency number 20. This truly is an exciting time for us. Susan comes to us with an impressive background in corporate communications and public service, and a deep familiarity with the public life of the country through her parents, the late Albert Jackson, longtime President of the Senate, and of course, her mother, our lovely Louise Jackson here. With Susan's candidacy, we have put forward 9 women thus far in the One Bermuda Alliance, and I believe that that is impressive for any party to be able to do that. That's 1/4 of our field of candidates, and I can tell you they are a strong group, committed women to the issues and the matters that concern this country. Susan believes good government starts with the strongest possible bond between the people and the government they choose. That means always keeping in touch to understand the needs and the hopes of Bermudians. Although today marks her official rollout, Susan has already spent months on the doorstep speaking with the people in Pembroke West Central, constituency number 20. Some of you may wonder why Susan was not rolled out earlier, and the reason we didn't was because basically we had potential other candidates as well. And I want to be very clear with this. There are other candidates who are looking to run in that area, and so we asked them to go ahead out and canvass the area and gain the support of that constituency. And I'm here proud to say that Susan has canvassed this area well. The constituents of number 20 have said very clearly that they wish for Susan Jackson to stand in number 20. And so I understand why. She's a remarkable woman, ready to serve the people of constituency number 20. And with that, Susan, I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Craig. Good afternoon, everyone. This is a very proud and exciting moment for me. I get to stand as the OBA candidate for Pembroke Southwest, constituency number 20. It's been a long time coming, and I'm just so proud, and I look forward to representing you in the next general election. I can't think of any higher calling than representing the people, and this is a proud moment for me, and I can really feel it. It's in every fiber of my body. I have experienced lots of life's challenges, and I never realized until this journey has come to fruition that it was all leading me to this point. And I have to say that I completely understand and I get what it's like to be a single mother raising children. I understand what it's like to be unemployed and have doubts and fears about whether I'm going to ever get another job. And on the positive side, I've worked in the community. I've had the most fantastic experiences with Mirrors, YouthNet, the Women's Resource Center, Pride, and I thank you because they are intelligent, bright people that have so much to give to this community. And I really look forward to working with them in the future. But I realized that I needed to take my contribution to a much higher level, and I really wanted to serve this country at a national level. And so I have put my candidacy and my application forward to run with the One Bermuda Alliance for the next general election. And so I was then asked and tasked to get out and meet people in the community, and I am very proud to say that I have met a good 85% of Pembroke Southwest, and I thank very much the branch and all the wonderful members of the branch who have been so supportive for almost a year now in helping me to pull things together and to get to this space. But on the doorstep, I've heard some very concerned comments and fears of the residents of Bermuda, not just in Pembroke Southwest, but also canvassing with my teammates across the island. And people are really concerned about unemployment, and they're afraid of the crime situation on the island. They don't know how we're going to face the debt, and they're looking for some change. And I'd like to say that the One Bermuda Alliance is that change. We are here as a group. We're diverse, we're energized, we're intelligent, and we've got the good hearts and commitment for the people of this country. And we're ready to work. And when I see and when I'm in the midst of working with the One Bermuda Alliance, it's just a wonderful thing, and I see Bermuda working when I'm with the One Bermuda Alliance. And I know that we can do what we need to do to build an education system that works for our children, to face off this national debt, to reduce the crime. Thank you so much for the few minutes that you've given me. I look forward to representing this country. I will definitely do what I can to advocate for the residents of Pembroke Southwest. And I know that if there are ever times when, government needs to have a representative, I will be there for you. And that there will be times when maybe government needs to get out of the way, and I have the common sense and I get it, that I will also get out of the way when that time comes. But I'm here to be of service to this community, and I thank you all so very much for your support. Thank you.
All right, we'll entertain any questions.
Yes, Mackay Dickerson. He admitted to cannabis possession during a police checkpoint this week. It's been a big issue. Should he step down as a PLP candidate?
I believe that's entirely the decision up to PLP. Certainly they need to review their standards and what they wish for their candidates as far as a standard is concerned. I really think it's in their hands. As far as us, the One Bermuda Alliance, we believe that we have a standard, and all of our candidates are drug tested, and we believe that Bermuda also has a standard that it believes its leaders should hold to. But this entirely is up to the PLP to make that decision. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
And Minister Parent-Chief said there is a consensus among his colleagues in the PLP to move towards, again, looking at decriminalizing marijuana. He himself said on camera he had a puff when he was younger.
Sure.
Your thoughts on that?
Well, the law is the law, and basically that's where it stands. Until that time it changes, we must live by the law. If we do not live by the law of the land, then there's disorder.
What's the position of the OBA on decriminalization?
Right now, the DPP has already established a decriminalization position. Yes, certainly. It's something that we're reviewing. We're looking at it. We know that it is a concern. Our youth group has been looking at it. We've asked for feedback from them, and we will forward our results when we're done with that.
Okay, Ms. Jackson. You said you know what it's like to be unemployed. When were you unemployed, and how long was that for?
It was the better part of a year, and it was probably 3 years ago.
And the debt, I guess this is for Mr. Richards. I'll ask Mr. Jackson about
What's the question, Mike?
Yeah, go ahead.
The question is about the debts. Your constituents and many of your supporters, I guess, are concerned about how we're going to face down the debt. Mr. Richards said the last time we spoke that he could not commit on reducing the debt ceiling. Okay, and given that but we've also made a commitment that we're going to lower the debt. That we're at the debt ceiling pretty much. So I'm trying to figure out how. I'm sure your critics have mentioned this point. How does the OBA lower the debt if it won't commit to not lowering not raising the debt ceiling?
Yeah.
I'll reiterate the point that I made in the Royal Gazette, that as we stand here this afternoon, we are not the government. We expect to be at the end of the 17th, but today we're not. And therefore, we don't know what the exact state of Bermuda government finances are. We take commitments very seriously, very seriously. And we don't make commitments on a whim or without complete information. And that is why we cannot commit to the current debt ceiling, because we don't know what state of the government finances are. It's quite possible that they're a lot worse than the government has let on. Quite possible. I don't know that for sure, but we won't know for sure until after the 17th. So we believe in making commitments when we have full command of the facts and not before.
So you can't make a commitment to lowering the debt then?
That's what I said. I can't make that commitment until we know what the situation is. And we don't know what the situation is.
Right. But you've already made the commitment that the debt will be lowered.
Well, the debt will be lowered, but it won't necessarily be lowered the next day. Right?
Have you figured out how much your programs will cost now? The PLP says 500 million, and we haven't really heard what the figure is.
We will outline our job creation plan in the coming days, weeks, and we will deal with how much our plans cost. Mm-hmm. But let me just say one thing while I have the opportunity, and I want to make this point very clearly. One of the things that was said was that our tax plan to give a tax relief to new Bermudian hiring was going to cost over $100 million. I'm not sure what the number was. I think it was maybe 120 or $130 million. Mm-hmm. Let me say here and now, not only is that wrong, it's ridiculous. Because the way our tax plan would work is that if a company hires somebody who was, say, unemployed, the company wouldn't have to pay their portion of the tax, but the employee will still have to pay their portion. So the net effect of that particular transaction is that the government actually gains revenue, revenue that it didn't have before. So when our tax plan goes into effect, the net result will actually be a gain in revenue for the government, not a loss. You can't increase employment and expect the government revenues to go down. Our exemption only goes when some Bermudian is hired. It's not like the government situation where they're giving tax exemption to a sector, whether they hire or fire people. Mm-hmm. That's not how our thing works. Mm-hmm. So it's very important to understand that. Our thing works when you hire somebody. You don't hire anybody, you don't get the exemption.
Mm-hmm. So, and they would have to be previously unemployed.
They don't have to be previously unemployed. No.
Well, that's something you can make clear.
That's right. You don't have to be previously unemployed. But if you employ somebody who was not previously unemployed and they came from somewhere else, or somebody would presumably have to take that job that they left, the net effect will always be an increase in employment. So the net effect on government will be positive. I mean, we've just gone on a situation that it'll be flat, but there's no way that this is going to cost the government money.
Okay.
I have a question for Ms. Jackson and I want Mr. Cannon.
Sure.
Mr. Cannon intimated, and I think I understood it clearly, that there are other people being considered for constituency 20, but the constituents overwhelmingly favor you. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if you're in a position to tell me how much of that do you think was as a result of your father's legacy and your mother's involvement?
Well, I would imagine that had some play. Both are highly respected individuals within the political and public service. So I would imagine that there was some of that that helped. However, I have been on the doorsteps for almost a year now, maybe more, meeting the individuals and the residents of Pembroke Southwest. And I believe that the relationships that have been built based on those meetings have created a personal relationship based on who I am. And I stand quite confident that people have been able to make their own decisions about my ability to represent them based on who I am.
Mm-hmm. Yes, go ahead.
I don't know how accurate all this information is. I've been hearing that there is a possibility that you will be premier of the bill.
Certainly. Mm-hmm.
The people I talk to seem to think this is not only an American tactic, but it's not the best thing for the community.
Certainly, I've got several different views on it. It'll pan out as the next couple of days take place, as you've already seen in the paper. We've been open for debate for some time now. In fact, several months ago, there was discussions with the PLP, with our government on establishing a debate that fell through. I believe that our Premier was not able to make that date. So, you know, some people may feel this is American tactic. I personally have felt that we should be a country that is looking to break down the walls of divisiveness, and I believe that sometimes debates will lead to taking sides in a divisive way. We are here to get on the doorsteps, and I believe the priority is to get on those doorsteps, to meet with the people of this country, to ensure that we understand their needs. However, saying all of that, we are well open to having a debate. Thank you very much, guys. Yes, go ahead.
So I'm just back to the decriminalization issue that
Sure.
Mr. Trott brought up.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Smith has asked us to ask all the candidates this question. Have you ever smoked marijuana?
No, I haven't.
Mr. Richards?
I can say one thing.
Do you remember?
I've been around for 64 years, but I can tell you one thing. My answer to you is that since I've been in public life, I've been drug tested. Before that, there's nobody's concern but mine.
You're not sentenced?
I'm not. I don't think it's right. Right? I don't think it's right.
No. As I stated before, all of our candidates have been drug tested. That is a standard that we have set, and they have all passed it, which is why they are candidates.
Mrs. Jackson?
I loved your answer. Absolutely. I've never, ever smoked or done drugs at all, but we're all drug tested, and I think this is not the place for this. Our leader has just said we've all been drug tested.
Yeah, I know.
We've all had the test.
What we're asking is, have you ever? Because, you know, a lot of people do.
That's it. That's it.
Ms. Jackson?
We've all.
Have I ever?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Okay. And Ms. Callahan?
No, I haven't. I'm here to serve as a public servant, and I have been found to be drug-free.
Yeah, Mrs. Scott?
Yes, I have.
Great, thank you.
Sorry, Ms. Jackson, you said you had smoked cannabis.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.